Alrighty, y'all, flight school scams that cost student pilots thousands. You guys really like the ranking video that I did of, oh crap, what was it even called? Ranking student pilot mistakes. So now I'm going to be ranking flight school scams that student pilots, well, it usually costs student pilots thousands. So we'll go right ahead into it. We got 5 categories, just like usual. We have FAA investigation, divert immediately, wallet turbulence, proceed with caution, clear for takeoff. Should be a good eye-opener for you guys to see if you guys go through any of these flight school scams. Because when I was in flight school, I gotta move my microphone. Because when I was in flight school, my first flight school, there's a few of them there's a few things that flight school did. So we'll go ahead and get right into it. Let me start up the quick time. All right, number 1 on the list is non-refundable training deposits. So I guess if you're paying for your training well, I guess there's 2, but like a non-refundable training deposit, like you're depositing $500 before you even start training and that $500 doesn't go anywhere. I guess it's so like it will reserve your spot at the flight school. Guess it really depends, but we'll put this one in wallet turbulence, because sometimes flight schools can just be pretty busy to where they actually need like a training deposit, or you're just not entirely sure. But the next one up on the list is going to be paying the entire program up front. Now, number 1, if your flight school makes you do this, I would run away immediately. But if they give you the option to do it, I guess it's okay. Like, I guess it'll be fine. But I would also be careful with paying for your entire training up front, because you're not going to know what's going to happen to that flight school maybe before you're even done training. Because there's been flight schools that will have people pay for the entire training up front, and then they just kind of shut their doors, which I think is pretty scammy in my opinion. So we're going to put this one in divert immediately. The divert immediately should be like if only they are forcing you to pay for the entire training program up front, which that seems pretty scammy. Also, what is going on with my hair today? I got a haircut and I thought it would make my hair look better, but I feel like it just looks a little worse. I gotta figure out how to style it. I might rinse my hair because I don't want to go all the way like that. I don't know, I look dumb for some reason. Does that look better? I think that looks better. I don't know, my hair looks like crap. My girlfriend's not happy with me because of that. Next up on the list, guaranteed airline job promises. All right. So if a flight school guarantees a job promise at an airline, and I mean like maybe like an Embry-Riddle flight school, or like a mom and pop Part 61 flight school, not like a Delta Propel program like at Skyborne, for example, but if like a mom and pop shop is guaranteeing an airline job, run far away, because they're not going to be guaranteed. Especially in this economy right now, good luck trying to even get a flight instructor job. I know a few flight instructors who can't even get jobs right now because it's just very competitive in the flight instructor market. Think about for airline jobs, especially since Spirit Airlines went down and there's a bunch of new pilots. Pilot market's just kind of messed up right now. No, there's no such thing as a pilot shortage anymore. There's no shortage. There's actually a pilot surplus. If you guys look at the FAA statistics, the amount of commercial pilots and CFIs went up by like, I can't even remember. Seth Lake made a video on it. It's been a while since I've seen it, but no job is guaranteed, especially in this economy right now. But next up on the list is advertising only the FAA minimum cost. More than likely, you're not gonna get your ratings on the minimum. I did not get my ratings on the minimum whatsoever for both private and instrument. Though, I guess private, I do have the excuse of I switched schools because my flight school was scammy. And I guess they did advertise only the minimum. So I would proceed with caution with this one. Whatever they're advertising, put it into a calculator. Like, you see this calculator right here? If they're advertising $20,000 for your private, press this multiplication button and then type in 0.20, enter plus 20,000. And that'll probably be the true cost or something like that. So just expect it to be a lot more than what the minimum actually is going to be. Because I think the average for people to get their private under Part 61 is about 60 hours, 60 to 65 hours, give or take. So just proceed with caution with that as well. I do not like this hairstyle that I have. Maybe I should have kept the long hair. I don't know, it's just way too hot outside, even though it's been raining all week. Next up on the list is high interest flight training loans. Not a good idea, but people do take that option, and sometimes it might be worth it for them to take it. This one's actually a difficult one. I'll put this one in proceed with caution. Actually, I'll put this one in wallet turbulence. In my personal opinion, I don't think a high interest flight training loan is a good idea. I'm taking this off. It's way too hot. A high interest flight training loan is not a good idea. It makes more sense for you to just pay your way through flight school, even though it will take longer. But I have considered the high interest flight training loan, and then when I saw somebody who went to ATP and they had to repay back like $600,000, yeah, I'm being for real. I'll find the screenshot and I'll throw it up on screen. It's probably not 6,000, it's probably like 4,000 or 400,000, but I'll throw it up on screen and I'll blur out any critical information. But yeah, so high interest flight training loans, I would steer far away from them because the interest, it'll catch up to you. Trust me, it will catch up to you. Next up on the list, hidden fees and surprise surcharges. Really depends on the hidden fees. Like, I also don't really know a flight school with hidden fees. They kind of put them all up front as well. I guess if you have hidden fees, I would put that in divert immediately. But it also really depends as well. Like, I know my old flight school, we paid for our own insurance, but at my new flight school, we don't. It's included. Our renter's insurance is included whenever we rent a plane. So it's also interesting how that works, how some flight schools will charge you or won't charge you for renter's insurance, but then require you to get it. But in some flight schools, like, they don't require you to get renter's insurance because it's included with your student program. I don't know. It's not even like a set program, it's just a mom and pop shop. But next up on the list is charging for unnecessary ground instruction. So ground instruction is kind of necessary whenever you guys are in flight school. Before you do your solo cross country, especially for private, because your solo cross countries, you really gotta know your stuff. So that I would count that as necessary. But I'm thinking, like, if you're doing like a 1 hour ground on, like, I don't know, like weather, even though it's not required, like, you're fine with weather, but your school makes you do an unnecessary ground instruction. Honestly, I would put that in wallet turbulence. It won't kill you, it'll just reinforce the knowledge. But paying $100 for grounds, or what did I used to pay for grounds? I don't know, paying some ridiculous amount for grounds, I'll put that in wallet turbulence because it can sometimes help you get like a better idea and like better understanding. At the same time, I can't really see it as well. Next up on the list is delaying solo without clear standards, and I'll also throw check ride in here too. If your school is giving you some bullshit reason without like a clear explanation on why you're not soloing, honestly, I would switch schools in my personal opinion. Or yeah, I'll just switch schools in my personal opinion if they're delaying your solo for some stupid reason. I'm not saying like a stupid reason as in like you don't know how to land the airplane. I mean like some stupid reason like you're not, like, yeah, you'd be fine to sign off but to be soloed, but you don't hit the hour requirement that we want. I think that's a bullshit reason in my opinion. So I would say divert immediately. And there's some flight schools that actually do that. Like, they will say that you cannot, like, you can probably solo a plane. Like, you would probably be fine to solo, but they won't solo you because of some stupid reason like that. And this kind of goes on with the next one as well. Delaying check ride sign-offs to sell more hours. This happened to me before. I would put this one in FAA investigation, in my personal opinion, because if you're ready for your check ride, you should take the damn check ride and get your license instead of having to pay a bunch of money just for the flight school to pull more hours out of you. We got the first FAA investigation one. I think if your flight school is trying to delay your check ride sign off to sell you more hours, switch, because that's what I had to do. There was a bunch of reasons why I switched, but we'll talk about that towards the end, because sometimes a flight school might look really good, it might not be. I really should have put marketing in here, but I didn't, so that's kind of on me. But next up on the list is endless stage checks and remedial flights. This is kind of geared more towards the Part 61 pilots, not the Part 141 pilots, because 141, it's required to do stage checks. So under Part 61, if you guys did not know, and if you guys really if you guys really need to know this, Part 61 is not required to do stage checks. So if your flight school requires you to do stage checks, just remember Part 61 pilots, if you are training under Part 61, you do not need to do a stage check. No, 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 no. No stage check for Part 61 pilots. That's only for Part 141 pilots if you're doing the little course thingy at like a college or like, I don't know, some flight schools have like a Part 6 or Part 141 course. Part 61, endless stage checks and remedial flights. I would put this in wallet turbulence or divert immediately, but I'll put this in wallet turbulence because they're just trying to pull more hours out of you, honestly. Unless there's an actual genuine reason why they have you do stage checks, like, I don't know, a bunch of students at that flight school just crashed airplanes on the daily, which honestly, if that happens, I would switch flight schools anyways if students are crashing airplanes on the daily. It takes a lot to crash an airplane. It really takes a lot. Engine failure, okay, that's one thing. But if students are like just absolutely messing up to the point where they're just crashing airplanes on like a monthly basis, it's probably not a good look for the flight school. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Next up on the list, constantly switching instructors. This one will delay your training a lot and will cost you quite a bit of money. This is kind of gearing towards more of the flight school. I would just proceed with caution with this one, because a lot of flight instructors will eventually go off to the airlines and you're gonna have to switch instructors anyways, which is understandable. Like I've had in my entire flight training career already, and I haven't even started commercial yet. And I've already gone through 3 flight instructors, and I have flown with a total of, I've flown with 8 flight instructors. Next up on the list is too many students and too few airplanes. This kind of happens a lot at flight schools, I feel like, where there's just too few airplanes and too many students. This one, I would also proceed with caution as well, because you're probably not gonna fly a lot if you can't really get scheduled. Like if a flight school only has like 4 planes and then there's like 15 to 20 students, I would be a little weary of it, but that's just my personal opinion. My flight school right now, I think we have like 10 to 15 airplanes. I don't know how many students we have, but I could literally go, well, I guess it's a bad VFR flying day right now, but I guess I could book a plane right now and go fly IFR if I wanted to. And the next one on the list is constant maintenance cancellations. This one, I really don't have a category with this one. I would put this one in wallet turbulence because this happened to me as well. I've gone 13 canceled flights in a row at my old flight school and didn't fly for 3 months because of maintenance, plane crashes, and weather. 2 of them were weather, 2 of them were plane crashes, and the other 9 were maintenance related. So be careful with maintenance. Actually, I'll put this in divert immediately, because if the flight school does not have a good maintenance program, I probably wouldn't fly at that flight school because, well, number 1, I wouldn't be able to fly, and number 2, if I did fly and maintenance kind of messed up, then you're dead. You're basically dead. The maintenance crew is, whenever you take a plane, you're entrusting your life with the people that maintain that plane, just so you guys know. So you guys can do all the pre-flight checks that you guys want, and you guys can find every little minor thing, or there could be a major thing that you miss, but you're still trusting the maintenance personnel that work on the plane with your life technically whenever you take that plane up. So make sure your flight school has a good maintenance program as well. If anything, if you're going to a flight school, I would tour the maintenance department, in my personal opinion. I remember when I switched flight schools, I asked them like 15 questions on all the policies, the fees. Then I did a tour of the planes, like all the planes, the Pipers, the Cessnas, the Diamonds, and then walk through maintenance as well. Like I go into the maintenance hangar just time to time just to check in with people as well. Like I don't really know anyone. Well, I know a few people in maintenance, but I'll walk over there, use the bathroom, and see what everyone's working on, because some of the planes and maintenance are pretty cool. And also, my flight school also does maintenance for other people. So if you see that, it's probably a good maintenance. It's probably a good flight school if your flight school does maintenance for other people, like private owners. So that's just kind of my advice as well. Next up on the list is mandatory overpriced pilot supply bundles. We'll put this one in divert immediately as well. If your flight school is making you, okay, so let's get this straight. You guys do not need Bose A30s in order to fly an airplane. When I first started off my flight training, all I had was this iPad right here, Not this case. I actually switch out my cases. But I had this iPad right here for ForeFlight, a logbook, a pen, and David Clark headset, which I still have the David Clark headset because I do fly with passengers that are not pilots occasionally. So it is nice to have a second pair of headset. But if your flight school is making you buy a bundle with an iPad and Bose A30s, I would be a little cautious about them because you can probably find everything online for cheaper and something that will fit you better. Because not everyone would want a Bose A30. Some people might want the Lightspeeds, or what's another good aviation headset? Yeah, some people might want the Lightspeeds. Some people might want the Bose. Some people might want like a very expensive David Clark headset. I mean, like David Clark, just because they make military style headsets doesn't mean they're a bad headset company. They make ANR headsets too. I don't know if you guys knew that, but David Clark makes some pretty good headsets. So just do your research. And don't pay for mandatory overpriced pilot supply bundles because they are probably going to be overpriced. And your flight school is probably going to profit at least $500 to $1,500 from that bundle as well. And the next one on the list, and it's also going to be the last one, is unrealistic zero to airline pilot timelines. I'm going to put that in FAA investigation because there's no way that you can become an airline pilot in 9 months. I'm sorry. It's impossible. You can finish all your training in 9 months and then become a flight instructor for a year and grind your ass like that. But are you really going to know all the flying knowledge that you're going to need? No, you can't cram everything into your brain in 9 months. I've been in flight school for 3 years, mind you. I do study a lot of flying related. I might not fly as much, but I do study a lot. And for my hours range, I'm a lot smarter than other people. I might not be as flying proficient. Like my Cessna landings are absolute dog shit, for example. But, well, that's also because it's a fucking Cessna anyway. But zero to airline pilot in 9 months, it's unrealistic and it's not going to happen. But if you guys have a flight school scam that you guys know about and I didn't cover it, let me know down below and where you guys would categorize it. Also hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. And, well, I guess we'll see you guys in the next one.